split. Money when me give you 30% of my budget. Grab the genie bottle, rub it. Nobody need, you're very cute. We love is like one for the story books. We love me fall, so catch me boo. We celebrate champion honeymoon. I need you like a desperate. So me and you fit touch to that. I need you like a desperate. Me believe in you, boo.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, Dan St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's another talk to, well, not almost a talk to us.
You ready to go?
It's another segment right here on WEFM 99.9 alongside our Roleza. Roleza, good morning to you once again.
Morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm fine, Maka. Thanks for asking. Nice. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm just drinking some water. I noticed the MP said he's gonna ban. He's looking to ban soft drinks.
I was listening to the.
I don't agree with it though.
Why you don't?
Soft drink, come on. I don't agree with soft drink.
But they need
to ban.
It's in schools.
Strong rum.
But it's in schools though.
It's in school.
I think when he said it, he was talking about because he was talking about nutrition. I think for children. Mm-hmm. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was talking about for schools, in schools. Yeah.
You sure it's schools?
Oh, all right. Let me go look for the article. But I was listening unless I was distracted again. Distracted yesterday. Let me go see. All right. So, why we look for that so that we could confirm properly. So, you're saying that there should be a ban on strong rum?
Yeah, it's destroying the young men's.
Destroying the young men? Or the young men are allowing themselves to be destroyed?
Destroying the young men. A lot of them going to drinking strong rum these days.
Yeah, but then who's forcing them to drink the strong rum?
I need to.
Huh? I see strong rum selling all the time. But what? There's nothing there to push me to go and drink strong rum.
But it's there, so they will drink it. So.
All right, so let me see. One News has the article. Let me see exactly what he said. So, Minister of Health and the Environment, Daniel Cummins, has urged Parliament to take bold steps in tackling non-communicable diseases, starting with a ban on soft drinks in primary schools. Yes, it's in primary schools.
Oh, it's in primary schools.
Yeah, although I suppose why primary schools are not extended to secondary schools as well, if you're thinking about children. Yeah. But, it's in primary schools, right? So,
urging them to drink more water.
Yeah. And it's interesting because he also said not just water. I don't know, but it was interesting to hear him say they don't need to go and buy water. They could drink water from the pipes in school, you know? I mean, yes, I understand what he was saying in terms of we have safe drinking water from the pipes, right? I could understand that. But I mean, to say they shouldn't necessarily have to buy water to bring water. Buy water. I just didn't really get that, but no, let me start over. Well, I'll continue better. I know that he was talking about the fact that with the water bottles, it causes a lot of littering.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I suppose the push should really be for the proper disposal of garbage and not necessarily to tell people to ban the bottled water. I can understand the soda, right? Because
but anyway, it's in school, so it won't do a lot of littering. It's in school.
You mean which one, with the water? The
bottle of water,
yeah. But I guess he was trying to promote the fact that we have water,
clean drinking water,
right? Yeah. So, but that is another discussion by itself in terms of nutrition, being nutrition of students. But I think it doesn't just extend to the school. I think there needs to be an overall education for parents, right? Because we recognize and we know that it's always cheaper. The cheaper things are always the unhealthy things, right? look at the price for, let's say, a box of fruit drink as opposed to a soda. Soda is going to be cheaper, right? So I suppose it's for us to just get that information, parents to get that information where it comes to nutrition. And again, maybe doing it, let's say, at PTA meetings or even in the classroom setting, in a formal classroom setting. So hopefully children go home and tell their parents, the education could be passed on in that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right.
Yep. It's a good initiative. So big up the minister on that one.
Okay. But you want about on strong room? Listen, people, it's free will and choice.
I don't get a lot of cussing.
It's free will and choice. I mean, the thing of it is that I grew up in Vincy almost every morning. I mean, I say every morning.
There are some young men on the street drinking a lot of strong rum.
But who is forcing them to drink the strong rum?
Nobody's forcing them, but...
I was going to make the point that I sometimes on the morning, the first thing that I smell, well, not the first thing I smell, but on my way here, I smell weed. Is this encouraging me to go and smoke weed? No, right? I hear these songs talking a lot about drinking strong rum and that kind of thing and getting drunk and so forth. But am I inclined to go and drink strong rum and get drunk and all of that? No.
Most of the accident that happens in St. Vincent is persons drinking strong rum, right?
Who is forcing them to drink the strong rum?
Nobody's
Maka,
forcing
do you
them.
drink strong rum?
No.
So why don't you drink strong rum?
Because I don't want to drink.
So who is forcing them to drink the strong rum?
Nobody's forcing them, but it's there to drink. So
people have free choice. There is free will, and people should use a discretion and also to know better. That's how I would look at it.
Morning, ban soft in school. What about vendors out there? Outside
the school.
Outside
yeah.
the school. Well, good point.
Yeah. All right, so this is why you always talk about this morning the drinks. All right, because we hadn't said something different. So
we could talk both of them. So
okay,
yeah.
All right. So
somebody's call. Let me take this call. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Maka, Roleza.
Morning.
Maka, rum is it to sell. No beg you to come and buy it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, in everything you do, you're supposed to have caution and have your limit.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so even a man thinks that I have no problem with it, but you must have your limit.
True.
If you're driving, you must know you have to have your limit because you're driving and you have people like me and you have people like otherwise on your road, you're there in the wrongs.
You see, in the bigger country, this don't happen. Eh?
What doesn't happen?
No.
You can't say, okay, then I'm drinking and get drunk and,
But in Vinci, you can't be doing it either. You will get charged as well. If you're caught, you get charged.
Yeah, but there's...
No, but in country cannot be drinking driving. It just means probably, so our country won't be the same as they will, buck up on you for say, well, really, it really bring down the law. And the police, not every police, all the police won't do the job at the same time how it's supposed to do. We know that. But no driver supposed to be drinking and driving. Neither no smoking, because if you smoke weed to it, could have an effect on your vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really, sir?
Hey.
A couple of weeks ago, I heard it talking about a feature road in Clay Valley. They did grade out.
Listen. Go ahead.
I heard Nathan mentioned in the parliament last night, he said next week they're going to begin.
You say as soon as budget done, that is the first one to be done. Big up.
And we are just seeing the road going in, heading into WEFM Day.
Yes.
That's going to be also
addressed, yeah.
So that is very good. But that is very good for the community.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'll be driving on a smooth road, man.
A matter of fact, all the roads in Cleveland need to fix up.
Oh,
well, really, where you get them smooth road, nobody can drive.
No. I will be drinking my water from home in a bottle. Right. I will be drinking and driving in that context. All right.
All right, my brother.
Yes, you all have a blessed day, man.
All right, you too. Thanks. All right. So we saw that somebody was trying to call before. So we would accommodate the call. No. All right, the call coming through. Let me see what this is about.
This is going to be an interesting call. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Hi. Good morning, Maka.
Good morning,
Roleza.
Morning.
How are you guys this morning?
We good, you?
Not too bad myself. I just want to weigh in on the topic with the news story on One News St. Vincent. MP calls for revolution in health, ban soft drinks. Now, oh, by the way, Maka, just to go back on a point that you made, you said that most of the accidents that occurred are caused by the consumption of strong rum. I think it's the consumption of alcohol and not necessarily strong rum.
Right.
Right. I know you probably think that sometimes when someone has a beverage besides strong rum, they say you smell a rum. But anyway, I digress. Now, so the whole issue, some persons will say, even if you ban it in the schools, then the kids or the children would still purchase it on the streets. Another way of looking at this, or to have this revolution, or to have a control on it, is to probably put a higher importation tax on these drinks.
Isn't that already in place though?
I think it is, but while I was even thinking about it further, I was asking myself, isn't there some sort of arrangement between CARICOM when it comes to trade and taxes on goods coming from CARICOM countries at different borders for different islands? But that's something I have to, research further on. But persons, looking at some of the comments, persons are saying, well, they should just increase import duties on these soft drinks on a whole. But along with that, it has to be something where there has to be a communication strategy in terms of awareness and consuming those drinks that leads to non-communicable diseases and so forth. So the ban is one, yes, but it has to also work along with other initiatives to actually have a positive outcome. And we thinking bottled water release. I heard you chuckle when he suggested that persons drink the water from the pipe tops at the schools.
That's what he said, eh?
Yes. Right, that's what he said. But in all fairness, and he said the reasons in the story. It says that the reason being because of the cost, and the littering. Right, the environmental effects, but we all know of all island recycling. I think they do produce bottled water, and they have the recycling company also. Am I correct?
Yes, they do.
Right. So I still think, and it's not every time you'd have clean water coming out of the tops. So they were thinking bottled water part. Think that we can,
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much.
No problem. All right, thanks. All right. And as I was here thinking about the conversation that Maka brought up about the ban on strong rum, right? And the whole point that I was making of free will and freedom of choice for adults in this case, right? Because I think you have to start with the education for the students in the schools. But there's currently a lawsuit brought against Meta, I think it is, our social media companies, saying that, somebody brought a claim against them saying that it's addictive, right? In that it encourages teenagers to be on these devices continuously because they're just continuously scrolling. And again, I still have to ask the question, there is freedom of choice, right? In that you have that free will to turn off your device or to turn off your phone. So I'm linking that to the point that you were making with the strong rum. Nobody telling you go and buy the strong rum. You understand? I know that it is glamorized in our music, right? A drink a rum and a tumble down, all these type of lyrics that we hear. But I could sing those songs. You could play those songs, and still you're not encouraged to do what the song says. So yeah.
I agree.
You're just falling like that back on no challenge.
I agree.
All right, but I really do believe that there needs to be a serious push in terms of education in schools when it comes to nutrition on a whole, because as I was quite alarmed at the statistics that came out of persons who are currently suffering with diabetes and high blood pressure, and even sometimes in some cases when I look at some children going to school, I'm not necessarily going to judge a child or judge a parent based on the child's weight, right? But there are times when I do wonder, even in cases of physical exercise, physical education, many of us are sure we didn't want to do it. No, when we were in primary school, we wanted to do it. But when we got to secondary school, we think we were too thing to do that, right? But we have to have it reinstated or reinforced, because a lot of these children not getting any form of exercise,
Yeah.
right? Parents have private vehicles, they're transporting them home. They go home, they're on the devices, they're not outside playing like they used to, you know? So I think it's a whole holistic
Most of the time
approach.
when kids go into school, when the mother give them lunch, most of the time it's a whether it's a box juice or a Buster, something of the sweet drink.
Or you give them money to buy food in school and they take the money and buy snacks instead, right? So it's all of that you have to look at, right? But
Yeah.
there's a whole education push that needs to be promoted, as Val was indicating.
As someone mentioned, the vendors outside the school as well, so they have to do something about that as well.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so there's a lot we could talk about in that, All right, but we're going to have to head on. Our time here in SPG, it is 7:36, and it's time for us to bring to you this morning's traffic talk.
Nothing else sounds as good as
WEFM.